Hey guys, MikeGoG, the King Arthur Legends Rise videos, kind of horsing around with Vala a little bit in Arena, and I might have found a solution that's working for me at least against those Anya teams, which are pretty pesky, but they're everywhere, so you can actually progress through. First thing you gotta do is take it off auto, unfortunately. But with your Morgan, you want her running fast. Flame Relic is going to do just fine. You want to go ahead and put that defense down, increase damage taken directly on Anya right away. She's going to get the counter strike. We do have Brendan in here to have some shields going on, and so that gets us moving. The next person on the list, we've got Vala. We're going to use her A2 to basically do that buff explosion, get rid of all those buffs. She might counter on that one, but as far as I know, counter falls off at that point. So that's Spirit Parade, Romantic Reversal, Utility. Yeah, so now Anya no longer has that counter strike ability. We did get this this taunt here from Brendan, so we're gonna have to hit him, but usually Hild comes in and takes Anya out of the picture right there, and then it's just a matter of autoing through the rest of it. It just kind of depends. But on the Brendan team, he does that AoE. I think he's got a 60% chance of taunting everybody that he hits, or 50% or something along those lines. So she did not put Counter-Strike back up on herself for everybody. We're actually going to die here. It's funny. I beat like 7 or 8 of these teams straight, and I was like, oh, I think I have the answer. And as soon as I started filming, we died. So that's kind of fun. But I have been able to get through quite a few of these teams with this strategy. So hopefully it can work for you. But this time around, I don't think it's going to get me through this one. So maybe we'll grab the next one and check it out. Well, I might be eating my words. We might get through this just barely. We did get Anya down. We're trying, if we can get Brennan out of here, I think we'll be okay. And then we can come over here and go after, probably actually go after Guinevere here, although Nika does do some damage. I think the AoE on Morgan will probably take Nika out though, so we just got to work on Guinevere. So we might squeak this out even still, but I have had better success than this as far as getting through. This is a little tighter than it's been, so hopefully, there we go, we're going to get that. She's going into immunity, which is pretty unfortunate, but I don't think she's going to hit very hard. I said that, she almost takes Brendan out. So hopefully we can get through our Guinevere here. We put her to sleep. That's pretty good. And we got our defense down. Okay, I think we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there eventually. There it is. All right. So it is effective. But let's actually put the strategy to a test on another one and see. So we can grab this team right here. Again, we got Brendan, who with that AoE ability could put that taunt on us. But we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. So again, the first thing you want to do, take it off auto. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get Morgan's A2, put it right on Anya. We're looking to land both those debuffs right there on Anya. Then Brendan comes in. Usually he'll get a taunt there as well, but did not land that. Then we're coming in with Vala and her A2. Clear those buffs off of Anya so she loses her Counter-Strike. Then we come in with Hild's A3. She did not get taunted, so now you can kind of see how this is going to work. Good douche. And there goes down Anya. Everybody else is almost dead. We hit auto, and we clear it up. So that has been how it has been working for the previous 7 before that one I just did. So if you're struggling to get through those Anya teams, might be a solution as far as trying to strip that off using Vala and Morgan, and then a good damage dealer. Could use Caliber and Arthur here. You could use probably an Irid, a Bedivere. You just want to make sure you go directly after Anya, because she is the damage dealer on most of those teams. So once she's down, you could pretty much pick the rest of the team apart. But it does require you do go first, and your Morgan is fast. So that is one thing that you probably need to work on if you're not going first all the time or most of the time. If we jump over into our champions and just take a quick peek at our equipment on Brendan here, you can kind of get myself out of the way so you can see the stats here. Super slow Brendan. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize he was that slow. That's pretty sad. Effect accuracy, so he can land all his debuffs, and that's pretty much what he's in there for, his taunt and his recovery disruption. So if you're going up against a Nika, he can slow down some of those heals. Moving over to Vala, we got pretty low attack actually, and then HP a little bit faster, 183. Probably be a little more successful if she was even faster than that. But that's where we're at there. And then as we move over to Morgan, this is probably going to be the most crucial part of it. We have her at 328 speed. I actually recently built my Ceres, and she's at like 249 or something like that. So I could actually make my Morgan a little faster potentially. And then Hild, as far as her build, again, getting a lot of damage from effect resistance down here. So she's got that going on, but also pretty high attack. Not as high as Caliber and Arthur, and fairly slow on the speed. But ultimately what you're looking for is her speed to be slower than Vala, so Vala can strip that before she comes in and does her big AoE ability. Or if it's Caliber and Arthur, whoever it is coming in to really nuke, you just want to make sure they're a little bit slower than Vala so that she is stripping those buffs prior to them doing that. We're technically 3 or 4 days into the Vala event, and I have completely kind of finished it up. Vala's done, the event dungeon. If we go in here and actually go to the event shop, I bought everything in here that I care about. I spent all of my pieces here and I maxed this out. So you know, there's not a lot going on there for me at this point in time. I did max this out. This was probably one of the easier ones. It could be that my account is getting more advanced and that's why it was easy. That, I mean, stands to reason. But I know for the first probably 2 or 3 months I did struggle to beat all 10 levels with the event dungeons as they came out. So I think that getting extra chivalries, getting better gear, all that stuff just makes it a little easier. But this did seem to be one of the easier ones for me as far as that goes. On the power up, I am going to get chivalry level 7 because I'm 30 summons into it, and we'll get these 25 frost, but I don't know that I have that today or the crystals to get me there, but I'm assuming by the end of the 10 days I'll be able to get that done. On the special relic summons, I haven't really done anything here. I mean, ultimately the only way to pull these, I think, is with crystals, which I think is, I'm not a fan. Like, I just feel like there needs to be a token or somewhere in the game you earn these special relic summons. But currently all you can do is pull them with crystals. So I use my crystals to up my chivalry on Vala, and you know, I don't regret it. I think she's a great champion. Her buff explosion was a little bit lackluster and kind of pitiful, but I look at it now more as a buff strip, where she just strips all the buffs and does a little bit of damage. But she's a fantastic support champion, so she's not going to be doing a lot of damage with that buff explosion. I had high hopes. I had very high hopes, but I did not get the result I was looking for. In the event arena, I've been kind of plugging away in there, just going through the dailies, knocking it all out. And then just kind of going as far into it. Usually get right to level 100, maybe even a little past that before you start running into any challenges, and then you might have to switch your teams up a little bit to keep pressing forward. But so far, every one of these that we've done, I have been able to get to first place without too much effort. So, you know, I don't know the rewards are necessarily worth the effort, but you do get arena tokens in there too, which I think is probably one of the bigger wins. On the stamina consumption, I blazed through that, I think probably in 2 days. On the arena challenge, we actually just maxed that out today, so I'm going to go ahead and collect that, get that extra 100 stamina, and that brings me to the raid bounty. On the raid bounty, when the rewards are stamina, I go after them because you get all the rewards of fighting it, and it usually kind of funds itself as far as you move forward with the stamina. It doesn't require a lot of out-of-pocket stamina, and you end up, like in this case, with a lot of mythic seeds and other resources that you get, you know, Relic's Breath and all that good jazz that you get from Aldry, and it's kind of like at a discount because you get half of the stamina right here as you're moving forward. So again, max that out within the first few days, and now I'm sitting tight for 4 or 5 days until the halfway reset happens, and there'll be a few more events kind of trickle in. But up until that, I mean, the Vala event's going for another 10 days, and there's not a whole lot for me to do in the game at this point. So just pressing on in areas I can. I did get promoted. I got voluntold. I got voluntold that I am now the lord of our guild here, or our clan. So if we go in here, I got promoted to lord. I did go through, and on the clan members, I apologize if you got kicked out. If you want to play the game actively, come back in. But I'm going through here, and this right here, long ago, this guy, unfortunately, we're going to go ahead. He's gone. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know how long you've been here, but long ago. Over here, we've got 5 days, 1 day. 1 day is not too bad, but 5 days, 6 days. We're opening up spots for people to join us that want to play the game, that want to log in every day. The problem is when you come in here, and I think we got 14, 12 yesterday. we're not getting the rewards that we need to. We need 20 active players to get this summons every day, get a little extra on the stamina, get more tokens. I mean, it just helps everybody out. So unfortunately 14 is just not going to cut it. So if you're looking for a clan, there's no power requirements. If you look at some of our members in here, you're on level 13, but that was 6 days ago. But we're on level 21, and we're plugging away. He's an hour ago. Hey, Frost, keep on coming in, buddy. We love having you on the team. We love keeping you active. So as long as you're here, I don't care what your power ranking is. You're welcome to join us over here at Wrath of Zeus. We'd love to have you. I think my nephew actually got kicked out, so I'm hoping he joins again, but he was one of the long agos. I didn't even look at the names. I just kicked him out. So no bias, no favoritism. If you're not logging in, you're going to get kicked out. But you promote me to Lord, and the power goes right to my head. So there it is. So another thing I did want to discuss today on the Hall of Conquerors, this one caught me off guard. My brother actually told me about it. When you first log in now, it puts you on the world, and it shows you where people are. And so this is not who's getting fragments for Caliber and Arthur's relics. This is the world. So I was in here competing with that, and I was like, man, so many people in here are at, they're getting 300 every time. Like, it's like, I can't compete with this. I think I scrolled all the way down. I needed to get over 200 hearts, 230 hearts to get in the top 50 or something like that. And I was like, there's no way. I thought it just got significantly harder. But right over here, group, that's where you're at, and then it shows you I'm sitting here comfortably in 8th place, and I've actually had pretty good success. Still would love to get Lancelot's Frost Relic here. It'd probably make a big difference for him for Blazing Gorgos, probably 10 to 15 hearts, I think, minimum, just by getting those extra dots on them, and it's just a more effective relic for Blazing Gorgos, not to mention positive affinity, so that team's doing pretty solid. I did borrow some of these team strategies. I mean, I go right in here, I go shopping. I say, okay, what kind of teams are going on right now, and how do I make it work? I did try this Lagertha piece here. Unfortunately, my Lagertha's not that high of chivalry, so I was unable to get further than what we had with the Flame Merlin. So the team that I was running is going to be this guy here. It seems like a lot of people are having success with that team. Unfortunately, I just don't have Frost Lancelot, so that was what I went with there. When I jumped over to Thrym, I was looking. I got 0 chivalries on Aqua Guinevere. Had I known the synergy that was going to exist between her and Vala, I might have gone after more, but then I wouldn't be able to push Vala along as far as I did, so that probably would have bit me either way, but this combo is actually really strong, so that's something going on. But a lot of folks are running this team right here. You've got the Vala lead, you've got the normal Guinevere, you got Urians, who does like a counter strike, and then Revenant Merlin somewhere in here. I can't remember. I think it's Revenant Merlin. She amplifies the co-op damage, or it might be Guinevere. Somebody amplifies the co-op damage, so when Urians come in to do co-op, and they're all Hound's favor over here, so when they do that, they're going to really smack and do quite a bit of damage all at once every time, or every third turn when Vala gets the co-op that she pulls in. But you can see a couple teams that are using that have had some great success, so that's what I pulled and went with, and I had all those relics, so I was like, all right, I'll press on and see how I can make that work, and it seems to be doing pretty good so far. I am lacking a few chivalries here and there, specifically on Revenant Merlin and Guinevere, but it's still doing okay. As we move over to Talos, we got quite a few folks actually showing off their Storm, Caliber, and Arthur that they got through Hall of Conquerors in the brief 3 or 4 weeks that we had to actually accumulate that. So kudos to them. I don't have that guy there, but Caliber and Arthur with the Flame Relic is still effective here, even though he is negative affinity. And then utilizing Nika and I think I'm going with Nika, Morgan, and I think I brought in Bodwin as well. If we move over to my group, let's take a peek at what I'm doing over here. Yeah, so just basically the difference was I don't have the Frost Relic for Caliber and Arthur, but the rest of it was there. So kind of pressed on, trying to get, as you can see, my awakening level for Bodwin's not super high, but I was able to press over 50. So this is by far the best I've done across the board for all of them, being well over 40, almost all over 50. And if I had a couple more chivalries and a couple more things going, here's Revenant Merlin sitting on chivalry level 0. Oh, that's brutal. So if I had those things going on, that might be a big push to get me over 50 hearts. Another thing I did want to talk about was, in the previous videos I had mentioned, when you get these summoning stones on characters you have maxed out, worst case scenario, if you pick these up, you can summon the character, get the copy of them, and then sell it in the shard shop. So there is an avenue to get at least tokens to purchase other legendary characters through the shard shop that way. So if you are stacking these up, they're not a complete waste. You can actually do that, but as far as I know, there's no other thing that's more effective that you can do. So that was one thing I did want to bring to your attention. Now that I have Caliber and Arthur completely maxed out chivalry level 10, if I happen to get any of these, I have to wait till I get all the way to 100, then I summon them, and then I can sell that in the shard shop for tokens. But it'll probably be a long time before I get there. Another thing I did want to discuss, as far as using memory stones to increase chivalries, I've actually used a few memory stones actually recently to work on. I can't even find her. Where's Vala at? There she is. So working on Vala here. There have been 3 champions they mentioned may not come back or won't be added to the summoning pool. I think Vala is going to be added to the summoning pool, or at least they don't have the verbiage in the events talking about her not being added, at least from what I remember. So let's double check that. We'll go over here. Hero co-op attack skills. The hero, yeah, so she's not, it's not mentioning anything about not being added later, or it could come back at a later point in time. But realistically, it makes sense to hold those memory stones specifically for Lagertha, Revenant Merlin, and even Aqua Guinevere, because all 3 of them, when they launched, were brought in as a temporary champion, and then it said it will not enter the special summons right away, and then it may come back later. But if you're utilizing those memory stones on characters that you can pull or add to your wish list, you're not going to have them available to step up chivalries for these guys. You won't be able to add to your wish list within a reasonable amount of time. So that was probably a miss on my side. It was kind of a learning, but I thought I'd share it with you guys so you guys don't make the same mistake that I did. So you might hold on to those and wait to build the characters that you want that may not be coming back to the summoning pool. And speaking of summoning, let's jump into our item bag. We did buy these guys out of the event, so we're going to go ahead and see if we get a Frost Lancelot relic here. I can't even believe that just happened. I can't believe that just happened. I am so excited about that. So we're going to have to get that maxed out and then get him into Blazing Gorgos. That is amazing. That was just stupid luck. That could have been anything. It could have been a Frost relic. It could have been Storm or Flame. And it happened to be the one thing that I've been waiting for a long time. So that is pretty exciting. And this guy here can be anybody. Tristan, he's actually somebody I am working on. I am actually going to jump over into the arena tokens and I think pick up another copy of him. Get him maxed out. I might actually pick up. So we did get a Caliber and Arthur stone here, which means you can still get them after they're maxed out. I think it'd probably be better if you couldn't. But if you happen to have 53 and up the chivalry, you still got to complete out the remaining 47. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's as good as anything. But quite a few tokens coming in there, so that's pretty good. Let's see. Oh, we got to do another 7. I don't have enough. I mean, I just never have enough spots for everything. It's just crazy how much that's going on. We'll get those added. We'll do carpal tunnel off screen. We don't need to do all that. Let's see what we got going on here. See if we get lucky. No, we already did. I mean, I can't ask for anything else. That was crazy luck. That was just so crazy. Let's go over and jump into Lake Avalon and do some summons, relics, as well as special and normal summons. So let's start here with the Storm relics. We got 2 10 pulls. We're pity at 45, so I'm not really looking to get anything potentially. We're just looking for straight luck. Again, we're still glitching on this since the update, so I don't know if something in the code changed where it's kind of problematic, but we'll sit here and we'll wait, and we'll wait, and we'll wait. But eventually it will click through and it'll be good to go. But I'll bring you back in when it does. There it goes. We're making it. We got 3 rare relics there. Let's see if anything's worth talking about. We're stacking these up. Again, I'm not selling these or upgrading or enhancing these relics yet. I am getting closer to it though. I do feel like I just want to start moving that process. Although the more I think about it, it is crazy how many copies of all these relics you need to max them all out, which I like it that it's a thing that long term gives you something to do. We talk about the carrot kicking it down the road so you have more to do in the game. I just don't know if it's rewarding enough to make you want to do it. It just feels like it's just a very subtle difference, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a much bigger difference than I give it credit for, but getting 1% on affinity just doesn't seem to be something that you're really excited about when it happens. So let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong, like if you disagree with me, because it's not something I've really tested, but it just doesn't seem like it'd be a huge reward. So let's go in here. We don't need Lancelot's Frost Relic anymore, but I still love to get a copy of it, just because we can get those enhancements, and I think on Blazing Gorgos it could do some good stuff. We will take a look at the Frost Relics and see exactly what's going on. 5 rares. See what's going on and why it's so good for Blazing Gorgos. I believe you get an extra dot damage on the A2, so you get more vigor and more dots. Which is all the things you need for Blazing Gorgos. Here we have 50 in the flame. We got 25 of them from the event, and we're going to get 25 Frost Relics once we get the next Chivalry for Vala here. But we are guaranteed a legendary one here when we hit Pity, but we'll get these guys on the account here and maybe get 2. I always like to get 1 more than I'm guaranteed. If I can make that happen, it makes me happy. I just feel like I'm staying ahead of schedule that way. So we'll see if we can get there or not. Again, just stacking these guys up. Nothing to write home about there. I do have 2 of Morgan's. Hey, look at that. 2 of Morgan's Flame Relics that I have not put on her yet, but potentially could make a lot of sense. And here we go with Claudus and Dragon Slayer. And with that, I don't know. It's not new, so that is a duplicate for me. She might start Flame, but she could start Storm. I can't really remember, to be honest with you. But that is cool. We're ahead of schedule. We're not guaranteed to get anything yet, but we're moving towards the next Pity already, which is pretty good. So we can still have 2 more pulls after this one. And let's see what we got going on here. We have 1 rare. I clicked on it. I didn't get to see how many rares we got. Hate it when I do that. All right, let's see. We got 10 more after this one. Let's see how many rares we get here. We got 3 rares. That's a little better than last time. I don't know of any of them. We do have all the, there's Bodwin's rare Flame Relic. We got 1 copy of it, I think a pull or 2 ago. So we don't have enough to enhance it yet, because I think you need 2 copies for the rares, 3 copies for the uncommons, and I think 4 copies for commons. So I kind of stack up and need a lot of them. And then there's 3 relics per champion, so it's just so many copies of relics to get this done. So when you do have the opportunity, Rosier, that's actually a good pull, because that is a relic that I do use, and I have upgraded that one to 2%, so we could start moving that further and further down the road. I would say on the rare front, it would be better to move them just because all of their stats are a little lower, so anything you can do to help them match up with your legendaries is probably going to be a pretty big win. If we go on to the normal summons here, this is we're just hoping to get some rares here. If we get some rares, there'll be tokens, but don't like these. Hey, we did. That's not too bad. Don't like them stacking up on the account. I think I talked in the last video, it'd be super cool if like you had some silly small chance of getting a legendary, just so that it would be fun to pull these. There's that one chance that after you pull like 1,000 and you get a legendary, you'd be pretty happy about it. Here's your special relic summons. Again, just doing crystals here. They don't have any kind of token or anything. I could probably take that off there, but I haven't pulled any here, and I don't plan on pulling any here because I'm going to use crystals for rate up summons most of the time. On the special summons here, oh my gosh, we are 1 away from Pity. That's ridiculous. We're going to see if we can find that somewhere if we don't hit Pity before. We're gonna test it. Test the limits here, see if it's going to take us all the way. I didn't look at the wish list and whether or not I needed to adjust it or not. It is getting us pretty close to Pity, so we'll see here. We got 1 rare. Let's see who it is. Who is it? It's Boars. It's Boring Boars. All right, Gilroy good, Bedivere good, Hild good, Brennan. Brennan, I think he's on Chivalry level 8. We'll leave him in there. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull these 2, see if it takes us all the way to Pity. Which my guess is at this point, 1 arm, we're not getting a legendary with 1 arm. We're going to need to get 2 arms on that. Come on now. Here we go. No! Alright. I would just buy the crystals here, but I need to stack these up so that I have it for the rate up summons, because I am 30 into pity. I need 26 pulls to get another copy of her. So we're getting close there. We might as well pull 10 of them right now and just see if we happen to get lucky. 450, yes, let's go for it. And then we're going to go find one of those summons somewhere. There's got to be a shop where I can buy one, I would think. Oh, no, not there. All right, that's okay. We got 2 rares there on the rate ups, but we only need 16 pulls left. That's a K and a Kieran. Let's see if we can go find one of those summons and come back in. So I'm over here in the clan shop, and unfortunately, I already bought all the guys over here. They're sitting there. It doesn't reset for another 20 hours, so we're going to have to do that. I do actually need some of these. I mean, I'll pull these guys here. I do also, as far as relics go, I do have all of Tristan's relics. I do have all of Sergius's relics. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Frost relic for Florentius. I haven't used him a single time, but the Frost and the Flame I do not have. So I'm going to go ahead and get those on the account just so I have them. Move over to War. We've got some tokens, but we have no summons that we can pick up there. So that's pretty unfortunate. Arena shop, kind of same deal. We can pick up another copy. I'm going to go for Tristan, because that's going to get me to Chivalry level 8, and that opens up his entire kit. Because the older champions, you get to Chivalry level 8 is where you max them out. Then I'll probably move from there and start doing Sergius to level 8, then Florentius to level 8, just because I can. Probably get these guys on the account, and I can go farm some of the Stormcat, because I do need some of those tokens. There you are. I already picked those up. Unfortunately, I already picked these up. I bought everything. I already bought everything. I need it to reset so I can go back and buy some more. So that's where we're at. So maybe we do have to use crystals. It's just 150. It's just 150. Well, if I end up not getting Vala, I'll know it was because I made this mistake. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to pull, where is it at? Summons. We're 1 away. We're going to go ahead and pull this one and see who we get. I would really like to get this Hild, because that 6th Chivalry gets her a lot of extra attack power, which would be really beneficial, especially in Arena, as you saw what I'm doing. Hey, no way. We got it? Of course we did. It took us all the way to 60. And it froze, but it came back quick. Who's it going to be? And it's a legendary, obviously. And, of course, your wings give you freedom. That is going to be our Hild. That is awesome. I don't know what it is about today. If I just ask for something, it just shows up. So pretty cool. Very excited to have her on the team. Let's take a peek at all the chivalries we got and take a peek at Lancelot's Frost Relic. All right, so as we take a look at Hild's 6 chivalry, she gets the attack percentage 10%, effect resistance 15%. Now she gets 90% of her resistance goes into her attack bucket to make her do more damage. So effectively, this is almost 25%. Going on with the damage, which is pretty cool. We're also getting 10 attack speed, which is going to throw my run out of whack, because now she's going to go faster than Vala. So I'm going to have to speed Vala up to make that run work right. But we're going to go ahead and pledge that to her and get moving forward. On Tristan, we also got 2 chivalries. The first one on 7's getting defense and HP, so just make him a little tankier, a little more durable. He has made it into a few of my Hall of Conquerors teams, although on this season I don't think he's in any of them. But he does pop in from time to time. And then here on the 8th chivalry, we get an additional skill effect for anger. We're going to get a 100% chance to charge attack age by 80%. So basically almost getting another turn right away. And then a 100% chance to gain prepare transparent throwing star for 1 turn. Let's see what that is. Attacks one enemy 5 times, the total damage of 100% of attack. Each point of attack speed increases damage per hit. So probably want to build him pretty fast. I have heard that scales pretty well. I think they actually had to nerf it because it was too much damage. So they brought it back to something a little more reasonable. But that is going to be helpful as well. So we're going to get that on Tristan also. And now he is up to Chivalry level 8. And then the moment I've all been waiting for, we are getting Lancelot's Frost Relic here. And in this, on the active skills, A1 attacks 1 enemy 3 times. Total damage is pretty small. Also based on HP. I didn't realize if that's going on with the Flame Relic or not. Is it based on HP? Oh, it is. I did not know that. So you build him with high HP, he's going to get a little more damage out of him. Although the A1's not going to hit hard anyway. But the 50% chance for the last hit to land a chill. But it's all about this A2. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Total damage 90%. And then 70% chance for each hit to inflict a chill for 1 turn. So that's 3 times. You're getting a 70% chance. And then it books up to 90 once you get that dialed in. And then on the A3, attacks all enemies 3 times. Total damage 69%. Plus 3% max HP. 35 independent chance for the last hit to inflict freeze. That's interesting. So when you're running for 35%, that books up to 55%, which is going to be comparable to Merlin. If you run him alongside of Freeze Merlin, the AoE crowd control is going to be pretty insane. So that's actually a pretty cool win as well, as far as that goes. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to go in here and see where we're sitting on skills. I might actually have enough. Let's see. Well, books are a little light. Books are a little light. We're going to see how far we can get into here. Get it maxed out would be ideal. We're running. Those books are getting pretty low. Sun's getting real low, big guy. Oh, we didn't make it. We didn't make it. We do have plenty of these guys, though. And we booked everything except for the A2, which is what we plan to use the most, which stands to reason. So we're going to go ahead and get one more book into there. I try not to use these guys because those are my backup plan. When we get new champions, if I needed to max them out, I have 190 books for selection here, which is going to be pretty good. That being said, I could use 30 of them now and start moving forward, but we'll just wait. We'll be patient. We'll go through Crown Croc. We'll get the books the normal way, but we did get more damage. We have not got that chill rate, which is the most important part of the whole thing, as getting those extra dots on there for Hild to blow up. So that's going to be a pretty big win for him. And then we're going to go in and level it all up. I don't have anything, so I'm going to have to go into Aldry. Look at me not accumulate. I forgot I bought that 500. We got to probably go into Aldry and the Stormcat and get both those things dialed in. So I was just looking at it, and it looks like when you're going on the relics for the elemental enhancement, I think they doubled this. Because I'm pretty sure it was 1% for each upgrade, but now it looks like it's going to be 2% for each upgrade, which makes a total 20%. That is a little more appealing. Like that seems like that could be pretty substantial. It's literally twice as good. So I don't know if it's enough for me to start moving that direction. Is that true for rares as well? Yeah, so just one upgrade, I'm at 2% when it was, I'm pretty confident I only did one before. So that is something that's kind of interesting there. So maybe that was part of the update with Vala, and I'm just seeing it now. But that could be kind of a little better as far as getting 20% elemental damage instead of 10. That'd start to be pretty tempting. But I think that's about what I got for you guys today. I appreciate you hanging out with me all the way to the end. Kind of had some fun things in there. Some amazing polls. I just called it, and they just kept popping up. But I had a good time there. I'm going to go use this stamina, get into Stormcat, get into Aldry, and I look forward to seeing you next time.